So the next stage is basically if you manage to get to the full riff and playing it comfortably and happy with what you're doing by matching the note order to your singing. What you probably did, can't guarantee this, but what you probably ended up doing is find a way of slicing up the 7 notes into grouping them in various ways, because 7 notes doesn't sound long, but it's too long to take in one bite, as one big long bite. Two notes, 3 notes, sometimes 4 notes is a more common way. If you're playing a long kind of melody or an instrumental thing, you generally work in 4-note phrases, 3-4 note phrases, generally. So the trick is what criteria do we use to divide this riff up? This is a bit arbitrary in the way I'll give you several different strategies, each which conflict with each other if you try and jump between them, which is the danger. But the best way I think to approach it, if possible, is a timing, grouping for timing. So we've got the full riff and the note order, if you've learnt already. That's the note without any, I had a bit of a hesitation there, but the note without any real variation in timing. There's the 7 notes, which we have to kind of push around a little bit to get the riff into the shape that we hear when we sing it. Now, from now on, it gets very artificial, because I'm giving you information that you would not find or you would not be looking for unless it's this catch-22. If you can play the riff, you'll probably be able to find the information to it. But it's not you wouldn't look for this information coming from the side of not playing it. It's just the only way I can explain how these things work. So, 7-note riff. Every note in the riff except for one is a single beat long. So if I play the riff, you tell me if it's slow enough. I'll play around it 2 or 3 or 4 times. And what I want you to do is see if you can spot the note that lasts for longer than all the other notes. There's one note that lasts for twice as long as the others. And after you've spotted it, hopefully I'll play it a few more times and see if you can count which one that is. So, and I'll give you the answer. So the riff is, I'll play it fairly slow. So it's. So that's one of the riff. First note, 1. 1. One more. 1. And so on. Don't worry about the ending. Probably should. Anyway, hopefully you counted it was the 4th note, so you play it. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a very distracting count, that is, for musically counting 7 like that. But you can see, hopefully you can see the note 4 lasts longer. And I'm doing this just because you could see, if I draw it on the board, you'd see it's quite nice for you to do it by ear anyway. So we'll use that extended note as a feature in the entire phrase to split it at that point, and split it in the way we see it or the way we hear it into 2, which means now we can just develop 2 actions. And the action for the first phrase, we've got 2 phrases, is this: we're going down in the down direction, so we're going C down to A to G, and then we're jumping back to the start note, C. So we go. I'm putting my finger there just to show you that it's the open string. And then back to the start note. That's your phrase. What you do now is you turn that into an action, because you can spell it, you might be going, but any hesitation flowing between those notes. This from the end, the lowest note jumping back to the top, is probably the one that you need to. You have to develop that action. But that action going from those kind of note movements all over chord when you're playing alternating bass or when you soloing and that kind of stuff. It's a small little physical action, but it comes in so much so, you know. But you've got to get that now when you play it, and that's your phrase. You can forget the rest of it as long as you know you're playing the order right. You've got to get it flowing, and you also sing it. Da, 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 di, 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 di. But remember, that's got a length, that last note. Di, da, di, di. We're not holding it. It's got a double length. So you learn that phrase. A bit artificial again, but you can use the tab to see the second phrase, the 3-note phrase, is this. It's open A, drops down, and then goes back to where it started. So I like to think when you've got 2 notes, you've got an A and a G. Look, you've got your open A and a G. And you go in open A, drop, and back again. It's a bounce between 2 notes. So you could actually play this. Can you hear it bouncing now between the 2 pitches? And to some degree, do that. You have to learn to control that action. But if you just keep alternating it like that, and trying different picking actions, or find the picking action with your right hand that you feel comfortable. There shouldn't be much physical action, but there's still confusion you've got to overcome. So until that becomes a physical action as well, that you're not spelling it anymore. So then you end up with and then you've got to learn. Your ear at this point can hear it's got 2 jigsaw pieces. It's a very simple jigsaw with just 2 pieces that go together to make the full picture. But you've got to learn to interleave those 2 correctly in order to get the riff. So you end up with first riff, you can deliberately leave gaps in between the phrases as you're trying to pull them together if it helps you flow each phrase better. These are all the kind of things which I'm probably giving you too much, but these are the way you should be thinking about improving the flow of your playing. It's all about flow here, and anything you can do to make it easier for your fingers until eventually they come together, and the timing of the gap between the 2 phrases is the right timing, 2 beats, and then everything else is on the beat. You know. If I play it slowly, one of the things you can do is either play along, but also see the 2 phrases. So I end up with like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Excuse me. It's actually quite hard to do that, but hopefully, again, a lot of this crap that I'm doing is just trying to give you a more panoramic view of what you're trying to do. If you don't persevere with the earlier stages, such as getting the note order onto your fingers to a certain degree, and try and watch all the back of this video, the previous videos, and you think I'm going to start digging in here, you'll be screwed, because you need to start with the easy stuff, and you have to build. You've got to have the note order under your fingers. There can't be any hesitation. Practice that. Anyway, that's grouping for timing, and your ear is going to give you, obviously, your ear gives you the timing, and you measure it against that as well. So could have been shorter of that, but I do apologise, but that's about the 8th version I've done now. So next one will be grouping for pattern.